All right, hey, hello everybody, and welcome to Hangar 18, volume episode number 57. Not to be confused with the Heinz sauce of the same name. Yes, see how I worked that in there?
I see that.
I was fucking
Steak
clever.
sauce.
I was fucking clever, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about steak. See that?
I'm hungry.
That's
Thanks.
that's just a nice segue right into that. Anyway, with me as always is my giant bludgeony faced great southern panty dropper, the Spock to my Kirk, Dreadwind.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I am, as always, the giant, etc. fucking whatever guy.
Stabby faced, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. It's funny how like people like pick up on that and like think that's the funniest thing ever. Like somebody was saying the other day, like, where did none survive come from? That was like one of the questions on the thoughts of like,
Yeah.
it's just a calm down. It's not like does that have like some profound meaning? Like the fucking Thundercracker Iliad. And thus he removed the sword from the stone and spake the words.
Now, see, 50 years from now, like someone's gonna start up like a religion based on a cracker page, right?
That's probably Thundercracker and Arianism.
Thundercrackerology or something, you know.
Hey, you know what though? It'd probably be a good like what do you call it? A good religion because it basically has like no mystical beliefs to it. Basically, the whole thing is predicated on don't hit or steal anybody, or don't hit people and don't steal their shit.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't be don't be a dick. It's pretty much it. So, hey, this is the very last episode of Hangar 18, and we had a good run. It ran its course. We had fun doing it. And for all the people that listened, which is Brandy and Blake and Ashlyn and Beth, thank you all for listening. And to everybody who didn't listen, and to the one guy who like fucking gave us the one dislike we ever had, fuck that guy. So yeah.
So this isn't Megadeth. I don't like it.
Wait a minute. Yeah, so like I was listening to this guy's podcast the other day, and I realized like real podcasts, they have like actually like real mics, and they have like musical interludes between segments and all that shit. We don't have any of that shit. It's just like me and everyone talking. And like I'm guessing like the big reason for that is like we're in two separate states when we do this,
right?
And like thinking in two different time zones.
Yeah.
And B, like if we did like take a little clip of like I don't know Megadeth or something, we would probably get some kind of copyright infringement. But although I see people pretty liberally use whatever songs they want on their shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, let's do heavy metal news, and it'll be the last heavy metal news ever. And we're gonna have Dreadwind go first, and that's totally not because I totally forgot about it.
Okay.
And we're gonna let Dreadwind go first. Go.
Megadeth's bassist, Dave Ellison, is set to resurrect the legendary label Combat Records.
Ah, Combat Records.
Yeah, he apparently he's purchased the rights to the actual name itself, Combat Records, but he does not own the rights to the previous catalog. Those are still owned by Sony. But he's resurrecting the label's name, and they're going to have some of the original bands that were on Combat Records.
Awesome.
Putting out, so they're going to be putting out new stuff as well as some new bands and stuff like that under the Combat Records name. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Combat Records was always like one of the I was always a fan of them. I mean, I'm more of like a Napalm Records guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of and like some of those record labels, like you can just tell like the type of artists they have by who they are, right? Like they have a certain type of artist they pick, but Combat really wasn't. I mean, they had a pretty like wide range of artists on their label. Like, it wasn't all like one specific genre of metal or rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like a veritable smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So is that for you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could do a couple more, but unless you're ready, you can go.
Am I fucking keeping you up over there? Jesus Christ!
Wake up! Go ahead.
Go down there and fucking slap you on the face. How you like them apples? Just pow! All right, so hey, the Grammy Awards are coming up, the 60th annual Grammy Awards, and I know who gives a fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
the Grammys, and it's a bunch of like rich people self-congratulating themselves. They like fucking break their arms, pat themselves in the back all the time, in between raping each other, apparently.
Right.
Because like I just saw this thing the other day, like all these people that are accused of rape. I didn't even know it, but Ron Jeremy now is like under suspicion of like sexual harassment. I mean, it's Ron Jeremy. What the fuck were you doing around him if you didn't expect to be sexually harassed?
It's getting to the point too where like everything is like you can just look at somebody.
Yeah, stare rape is what that's called. If you look at a woman for more than I think 7 seconds, it's called stare rape.
I saw something. I saw something where it said that some women are actually now considering like offering to buy them a drink is considered sexual harassment now.
All right, right. See, that's the thing is now we're gonna have to like get written waivers from women before this is the end of the fucking humor. He says, "Fuck, maybe it's for good. Maybe it's for the best." And let me be clear here. We in no way endorse sexual harassment or rape or any of that stuff.
Right.
But we also recognize the idea that staring at a woman for more than 7 seconds is not rape. Right?
Offering to buy them a drink is not sexually harassing them.
Right. Opening the door for them, not sexual harassment.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, 60th annual Grammy Awards, and here's some of the Grammys make my head hurt anyway. Ever since Metallica didn't win, Jethro Tull got it. It's what the fuck? Okay, so all right, here we go. Best metal performance: August Burns Red, Invisible Enemy, which is actually a decent song. Body Count, Black Hoodie, no. Code Orange, Forever, no. Mastodon, Sultan's Curse, okay, I can kind of see that.
Okay.
And Meshuggah, Clockworks, I can see that one too. But out of the 5, they fucked up 2 of the 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
They always do.
Yeah, I know. Here we go. Best rock performance. I'm probably going to piss some people off here because I'm going to say something that everybody really, really gets annoyed by. Actually, 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Leonard Cohen, You Want It Darker. I don't even know who Leonard Cohen is.
I don't know.
Chris Cornell. I'm not a fan of Chris Cornell. Never was. Didn't like Soundgarden. Didn't like, what was the other one? Temple Dog, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't like that. I never liked Chris Cornell, ever. Chris Cornell, The Promise. And here's the one that's probably going to piss most people off, the Foo Fighters. Never have I been a fan of the Foo Fighters. I liked Nirvana okay, right? But the Foo Fighters, especially that song goes, do. Fuck that song. I hate the Foo Fighters. Anyway, the Foo Fighters run Kalo, whatever the fuck that is, no good, and Nothing More, Go to War. I've never heard of, right? Best rock song, okay. Metallica, Atlas Rise. No.
Okay.
K-Flay, Blood in the Cut. K-Flay is not a rock artist. I'm not sure if there are people aware of this, but she's more of like a cross between like hip hop and pop. K-Flay is not rock. Just totally not rock. Nothing More, again, Go to War. Foo Fighters Run, again. They must really fucking get boners over those songs.
Oh, they love Foo Fighters, yeah.
And Avenged Sevenfold, The Stage, right? Best rock album, Mastodon, Emperor of Sand, Metallica, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, Nothing More, The Stories We Tell Ourselves, Queen of the Stone Age, Villains, War on Drugs, A Deeper Understanding. Here's the thing about those, right? Apparently the metal songs that they have, like, broaden your fucking metal horizons, right? It's not like it's that hard. Open up YouTube and look around a little, right? Okay. I mean, kudos for them for picking Mastodon, but Jesus Christ, there's other metal out there.
Well, they just cater to, whatever's the popular name.
Right.
Oh, people have heard of these people before, so we're gonna,
Right. But I mean, like, come on.
my son's cousin's former roommate's daughter listens to this band, so
right. I mean, I don't know. It just Grammys annoy me like a lot because like you said, they pick like for the best, quote unquote. They pick the most popular. I've often had arguments with people about this. Popularity is not equivalent to quality.
Right.
The Kardashians are very rich for being popular, but I wouldn't fucking call them quality. Have you ever watched that show? It's fucking dreck.
I can imagine.
Yeah, like I watched like a little clip of it, and like the leader chick who looks like almost like a cross between an elf and Joan Jett, where the fuck her chops is. and like one of the kids, the fatter kid with the blonde hair, they were having a cook-off, right? And like for their cook-off, they used a professional chef to like help them out with their shit. I'm like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a cook-off. How the fuck are you supposed to judge whose shit is better if you have a professional chef doing half the work? You know? I can relate to that. Then like they say, I'm gonna just say one more rant about the Kardashians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then like they were bitching the other day, like, yeah, well, they were really mean on the internet. Fuck you. Give me $100 million and you can be as mean as you want to be on the internet. You can say, hey, look at that fucking tiny dick faggot piece of shit. Fuck him. $100 million, I don't give a fuck what you say. You can say, yep, he is the spawn of Satan. He was spawned by I don't know, Charles Manson raping fucking Jim Gannall. I don't care. Are you that fucking fragile? Anyway, I'm done with that. Fuck the Kardashians.
Yeah, too much money.
Yeah, too much money and too stupid for that money. All right, let's get into our reviews. Does anybody? Let me look and see if anybody's. Oh, there are 2 viewers. Holy shit!
Wow.
2 viewers for our final broadcast.
Hey, one more quick note on the news before we move on. Indonesia's president was recently gifted the Metallica box set by the
I saw that.
Danish Prime Minister. Bought him. Apparently he's a metalhead. He doesn't look like a metalhead.
No, he doesn't.
But,
I tell you what, that's very misleading because sometimes like people who totally don't look like they would be in the metal, totally in the metal.
True. Yeah, and I guess if you're in politics, you need to have kind of more of a clean cut appearance with the suit.
Yeah, right. He's not gonna wear a battle jacket with a fucking bullet belt.
Yeah, right.
Give a press conference.
There was an announcer on like College Game Day that I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he would always throw in like a metal reference every now and then. It was like, cool, nice.
Not the pencil guy, right?
No, I can't think of his name now. He was like one of the straight-laced guys. Again, very straight-laced appearance and how he acted and demeanor, but every now and then, boy, he would slip a little metal reference in there. Like,
that's what I do too.
Cool, yeah.
I'm always like doing my taxes, and I'm all of a sudden like, fucking hell, Satan! All right, let's move on. All right, so we're going to go into our last 10 songs we picked, and yes, we stacked the deck on this a little bit.
Just a little.
We're going to see why you're going to see some high scores, and Dreadroom picked the first 5, and I picked the second 5.
Mm-hmm.
And our very first song is by a band called Typo Negative, and Typo Negative was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1989, and this is from their album Bloody Kisses, and if you do not have that album, go out and buy it immediately. This is the song called Christian Woman.
Mm-hmm.
The song starts out with these eerie keyboards. Let me start that one more time. The song starts out with these eerie keyboards. I don't know why I can't say the word keyboard. These eerie keyboards.
There you go.
And an introduction in Pete's standout baritone voice, and does not even have guitar until 50 seconds in, which is accompanied by an almost ethereal chorus.
Mm-hmm.
The verse part of the song is underscored with a jaunty but heavy 4-note riff. I use the word fucking jaunty.
Jaunty.
Yeah. Peter shows his vocal range quite a bit in this song, going from his typical super low register to a super high whine almost. He almost goes from like, I don't know, Orson Welles to Starscream. Mm-hmm. Out of nowhere, the song shifts gears into an acoustic guitar and the sound of birds singing, which is probably somehow significant to the song, meaning that I'm not poetically gifted enough to understand. Every time I hear virtually any Typo Negative song, I always picture a couple of gothic chicks fucking in a dark forest covered in leaves. I'm sure it's intentional. The song changes gears again at about 6:30 with something of a slow, lumbering solo that leads into another gear change at around 7:15, where the song picks up, and then they bring in like a harpsichord, maybe? I don't know. Possibly. There's like, yeah, I think it is a harpsichord. Anyway, I don't know why I just wrote the word music after that. Music! Apparently the song is made of music. In 2005, Bloody Kisses was ranked number 365 in Hard Rock Magazine's book of the 500 greatest rock and metal albums of all time. Loudwire called Bloody Kisses their best album of 1993, in addition to ranking it number 42 on their top 90 rock and heavy metal albums of the 90s. Rolling Stone placed Bloody Kisses at number 53 of their top 100 greatest heavy metals of all time. All those are really good accolades, but I give Typo Negative Christian Woman a 9.0 Dreadroom.
9.0?
Yep, 9.0. Okay.
Yeah. Did
I fucking blow your did I fuck you up over there?
You did. You totally screwed me up, man.
Damn it.
Okay.
Fuck.
All right. So typo negative, Christian woman. Like you said, it starts with Peter's deep. I would go so far as to say bass voice.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I always use baritone and bass interchangeably. That's probably wrong musically.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, so he starts off with it's the unique deep voice. Forgive her, for she knows not what she does. Um, and it's got that choir style keyboard that comes in.
Mhm.
If you've never heard this before, then you kind of know you're in for something different, especially back in. I mean, like, well, these days they have so many like bands that have taken styles from typo negative.
Oh, definitely.
But back in the '90s, like I think this came out in 1990. Back then,
1993.
oh, that's right. Yeah, their first album was 1990. That's right.
Yeah,
This was
you,
yeah.
you
This
can
was,
tell because I said that earlier.
okay. So back in the '90s, when this came out, nothing really sounded like this.
Mhm.
So you knew you were in for something completely different, just within those first, 50 seconds or so. It's very slow, deliberate, pounding rhythm, and that's probably done on purpose,
Mhm.
due to the nature of the lyrics of the song. Probably a lot of kids are alive today
Oh yeah,
thanks to this song, because
probably.
they were probably conceived during listening to this.
Yep. A lot of kids in their early 30s.
Yeah, well, their parents were listening to this song. Um, I love the lyrics of the song. There's the one line I've always thought was just, it really showed Peter's poetic side along with his humor, because it was the line where he goes, "For her lust, she'll burn in hell. Her soul
Mhm.
done medium well."
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's great.
That's
Um,
great.
there's a clever use of keyboards mixed in with the other instruments that
Yep.
just drops out and then comes right back in again. That I think adds a lot of dynamic tension to the song.
No, I
Uh,
like that dynamic tension.
Dynamic tension, yeah. The acoustic
That's what
part.
that's what you put on your sex swing. Just dynamic tension.
Waiting for Frankenfurter to come out.
Ah,
The acoustic part is a rather beautiful, welcome interlude
yep.
that makes the heavier parts seem even that much heavier.
Yep. Nice
It's
contrast. Too.
melodic, tranquil, heavy, and edgy. And I'm actually amazed at how many people in the comics were saying that they had like just recently discovered this band, like within the last year or two.
That's because people
Um,
suck. Really.
yeah. So the lyrics on this song, if you're not sure what it's about, it's actually about a woman who is in complete lust with Jesus,
Mhm.
and she's dreaming
Aren't we
about,
all?
yeah, dreaming about doing the naughty with Jesus. So anyway, I love this song. I love this band. I love this album. I give this one a fucking 10.
Oh, I couldn't tell. He's over there putting nipple clamps on as we speak.
Right.
All right, moving on. All right, let's get out of the nipple clamp area. All right, so moving on to Ozzy Osbourne. He formed a solo band in 1979. This is the title track off their 1991 album, No More Tears. It's an amazing album. The song is going to be good when they have the audacity to start it off with a bass line. Like, if the song starts with a bass line, it's going to be awesome. You can pretty much guarantee it, right? It leads into a blistering guitar riff. The first guitar after Crack in the Sky, where he goes, wah, 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 wah. That's fucking amazing.
Hmm.
I let you know that this is not going to be some sappy fucking ballad. Zach Wilde looks like he's about 14 years old in this song
Yeah.
because he's not covered in his giant filthy beard and chains and skulls and like pissed on biker jackets.
Hmm.
He totally doesn't look like Zach Wilde. He looks like a totally other guy. But he does. He has his like bullseye guitar though. So,
Yeah.
well, I think one of his bullseye guitars. This one I think is different colors. But anyway, Ozzy's eerie vocals are slaying it throughout the song. Also, the song is the name of a children's shampoo. Just so you know. The piano part blends seamlessly into the song, and then it leads into a fucking world destroyer of a guitar solo. The solo on this song is amazing.
Yeah.
I could do without the sounds of the birds, though, like the seagulls or whatever they got on there. I could have taken this off, and I would have been okay. Also, I have never understood why someone will be crying about a hand in the bush. If you got a hand in the bush, you're doing good, right?
Right.
Stop crying. You got a hand in the bush, everything's going okay. Yeah, no
Maybe that's the song,
yeah,
Ozzy's
he's like, hey, dude, quit crying. You got a hand in the bush.
no more tears. Come on, you got a hand in the bush. What's going on?
Right. Apparently, Ozzy considers this song to be a gift from God. which is odd.
Okay.
As he stated in his Prince of Darkness liner notes. Anyway, Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears. I give it 9.5.
Man, you're just crushing me today, dude.
I know. I can't help it.
God. All right. So that's got the amazing opening bass line.
Yep.
Now, this is the radio edit short version because there's like the album version is actually longer than this.
Yeah, yes. I wanted to get like this all done before I had like had to collect Social Security. Like I think you pick like 4 hours of songs.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So this is Ozzy at his peak on this album, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Vocally, he just sounds better than he's ever sounded on any other album before or after this. I think, personal opinion. It's got the heavy ass guitar riff that just sounds down, dirty, and nasty in all the good ways. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I remember watching this on MTV all the time too.
Yeah, me too.
This
Totally.
was like my music. Yeah. Back in like the Stone Age when they played music and they had like you had to get a bird on top to adjust his wings for the antenna, to get the signal in. Yeah.
Yep. The bird covered in Reynolds wrap.
Yeah. This was like my main introduction to Ozzy. I mean, I knew of Ozzy before I started listening to this album, and I knew a couple songs like off the radio, but I didn't really see a whole lot of his videos early on. I was kind of late to the party to some of that stuff, but then this one was like, oh, that's Ozzy. He's fucking cool.
I know.
So the piano breakdown comes in and softens the mood before leading into one of the greatest solos in heavy metal.
Yep.
Zach just absolutely rips it open. This album and this song both put Zach on the map in the heavy metal world.
I think like his oily pecs. I think also.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Yeah. To me, this is Ozzy at his solo career finest, and not taking anything away from Blizzard of Oz and the Randy Rhoads era, which are great albums and great songs, but to me, this album, Ozzy kind of has got a little more refined, and it's just kind of the peak. You know what I mean? To me. So yeah, I love the song. I love the album. I give it a 10. Also,
damn, fucking 10 on this one too.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Megadeth, Los Angeles, California, 1983. This is their song "Go to Hell," and it's from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, music from the motion picture 1991. But also, the place most people are going to find it is in the Hidden Treasure soundtrack. And if you don't have the Hidden Treasure soundtrack, immediately go and buy it because it's fucking awesome.
Yes.
Another song that starts out with a bass line. Maybe secretly Dreadwin wishes he were a bass guitarist.
Put that in there for you, man.
Yeah,
you're always talking about the bass lines.
I do love the bass lines. All right, I wish I had that chair with all the shit stuck in it. Like this kid sitting on this chair. It's got like a fucking chainsaw and a butcher knife and like a fucking apple parer and all kinds of shit stuck into it. I love the intro where the prayer sang in a creepy as fuck child's voice, and then they drop the fucking hammer. And of course, since they had the same prayer in Enter Sandman, the entire comment section was filled with people comparing the song to Enter Sandman, even though they have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
You have to love Mustaine's voice because he always sounds like he is straining to drop the most evil turd in the history of turds. The solo at 244 fits. Fuck. Let me start that one more time.
Okay.
The solo at 244 fits into the song flawlessly and leads right into the heavy breakdown, and then another awesome solo. The part where Dave mocks the bedtime prayer is probably one of my favorite vocal/guitar parts in any heavy metal song ever. I'm a really big fan of this song. I also give this one a 9.5. Dreadwin. Go to Hell. Not saying that to you personally, just saying that's the name of the song. Megadeth, Go to Hell.
Megadeth. All right, let's to clear up the whole Enter Sandman thing, okay? So the Bill and Ted soundtrack, which this song originally appeared on, was released in July 9th, 1991. Enter Sandman by Metallica was released as a single July 30th, 1991.
Oh, so you mean to say that Megadeth didn't copy off
Megadeth
Metallica?
Did not copy off of Metallica.
I'll be goddamned. And you know what? And I'm guessing Metallica didn't copy off of Megadeth. I doubt they scrambled to put that on the song in the last 2 weeks that it was fucking ready to go.
Right. Yeah. So what happened, as Dave tells it in the book, he had an idea for using this prayer in a song way back when he was still in Metallica, and he had mentioned it to James, and they both thought it was a cool idea. But then they went their separate ways, and nothing ever materialized out of it, and blah blah blah. And then he decides he's doing a song from Bill and Ted, and he says, "Hey, you know what? Maybe it'd be a good idea to do that idea I was thinking of and use that prayer in the song." So he writes the song with the prayer in it. And apparently James was on the exact same page somewhere in California doing the same thing
Right.
at the same time. Purely coincidental.
Heavy metal karma right there, bitches.
Yeah, I know, right? And of course, everybody's, "Oh, Dave just ripped off Metallica." No, he didn't. So anyway. So yeah,
Dave ripped off Metallica. Yeah, okay. Look at the liner notes of the first 3 albums, okay?
Yeah, I know, right? So this one has another great bass riff for the opening. The opening guitar riff is really cool, but then the riff at 110 just knocks it out of the park.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
Not going to wait.
It's got a slower tempo compared to what you hear off of Rust in Peace, which came out the year before.
Yeah, I'd say.
But it sounds a lot like something that you would have heard off of Countdown to Extinction.
Yep, totally.
Which came out the following year. So this was right in between those 2 albums.
Transitional, you might say.
Yes. As usual, the guitar solos are absolutely killing it. And it even features a similar kind of dueling guitar solo section in part of it, a lot like in Hangar 18, before it leads into the outro, which is just heavy as fuck.
Oh, totally.
Where he's mocking the prayer. It's awesome. I love it. This is one of my all-time favorite Megadeth songs. And when I saw them live, I'm trying to remember if they played this one or not. I think they played this one. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember which song it was they didn't play that I wanted them to play. I think it was 99 Ways to Die. They didn't play that one.
Well, that's a good song too.
I think they did play this one. Anyway, I give this one a fucking 10 because I love it.
God damn. All right. So, hey, my favorite song off that album is Angry Again.
They played that one. Yeah. That's not my favorite.
All right. Next album, or next song is by a little-known band called Metallica, formed in Los Angeles, California in 1981. And this is from their album, ... And this is for all, and yes, I know it's an ellipsis, and it's just meant to mean a spoken pause, fuck off. Released in 1998, or 1988, sorry. The song is called Shortest Straw. The opening of the song wastes no time in hitting you right in the fucking face with that riff and drum combo. It is so heavy that it fucking makes Michael Moore look skinny. It is weird that And Justice for All is so fucking awesome, and that Shortest Straw is probably my second favorite song from the album. One, of course, is my favorite song from the album, but that's splitting hairs there because they're both fucking amazing.
Yep.
Hetfield's voice is like it is on much of Justice, in a transition to the more deep voice he has on the Black album, but it still has scratchy hints from the old thrash days. The sad part of this song is that all of the bass just sounds like reverb behind the rhythm guitar. The lyrics are fucking brilliant. The drumming is spot on, and let's be honest here, that solo is probably the best on the album. I love how the song ends with the cymbals. The album's front cover is designed by Stephen Gorman on a scheme by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich, which features a representation of Lady Justice has been raped, bound by ropes, and with her 2 breasts bare and its scales tipping towards one plate filled with money. The phrase "And Justice for All" appears spray painted in the lower right corner. The album title is derived from the American Pledge of Allegiance, of course. 3 songs from the album released as singles: Harvester of Sorrow, Eye of the Beholder, and One All Amazing Songs. The title track was released as a promotional single. I give this song, The Shortest Straw by Metallica, a 10. Trevor.
Oh, there you go. You finally got one right.
Wow, look at that. You went broken clock, right?
Right. Yeah, this is a great album. It was one of those albums that really doesn't have a bad song on it,
Yep.
It kicks in loud and heavy. And here's an example of what a good snare drum sounds like, Lars.
Yeah, exactly. Not that hollow sound that he's got on Saint Anger.
Yeah, on this one, it's nice and snappy and poppy, and it's there, full of transitions and change ups in just the first 2 minutes alone. I've always found this album to have a darker vibe and feel to it than any of their other albums, which is you know, I mean, because all of their songs, it's definitely not lyrical content because all of their songs feature dark content and lyrics and stuff. But for some reason, I don't know if maybe it had something to do with Cliff's death prior to this album, or
yeah. See, every time I listen to anything from Injustice for All, I always think of like a cold November day.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that had something to do with it. Maybe the overall tone of the album, because of the lack of bass in the mix, has something to do with it because it's got a different sound to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's a combination of both. And you know, I thought about this the other day, and you know, Lars and James get a lot of Lars in particular gets a lot of flack for taking the bass out of this album. You know, because apparently he was the one that went to the mixer and said, take the bass out. But I thought about it this way. I said, well, this is their first album following Cliff.
Right.
And maybe that was their way of kind of
paying tribute to him.
Wearing the black bandage around the arm type thing, you know, and saying, you know what, we're not going to have bass. This is going to be no bass on this album in honor of Cliff type thing. I don't know.
Good point.
Just something I thought about the other day.
That's pretty fucking profound right there.
Yeah, maybe so. So, anyway, the guitar solo comes in and Kirk is shredding. I mean, like really, really shredding.
And he's not even like taking a nap on the wah pedal.
No, and you know what? The second guitar solo he plays, here we have an example of a good use of the wah pedal, because he does get on the wah pedal, but he's not just, like on it all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great, you know. And Kirk I give Kirk a lot of shit for his guitar solos recently, but you know, you got to give credit where credit's due, and the dude fucking shreds it on this song.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Kirk Hammett is probably one of the top 10 heavy metal guitarists of all time.
Oh yeah. I mean, his past work speaks for itself. So absolutely. I think a lot of people can't separate like current events from overall picture. You know, they're like, oh, they put out Load and Saint Anger, they suck now. Well, okay, maybe they suck now, but they didn't suck then.
Yeah, same thing with Lars' drumming too, right?
Exactly. I was just gonna say Lars is actually rocking it on the drums on this album too, and this song. He's tearing it up. Once upon a time, kids, Lars was actually considered a good drummer.
Yeah.
I remember when this album came out, people could not stop fucking talking about double bass part in One. That's all. Oh my God, did you hear the double bass part in One? That's fucking awesome. Oh my God, Lars is awesome. Constantly.
The same people.
Same people. Lars sucks. Yeah. 3-year-old can play his stuff.
I love your condescending voice. It's great.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Shortest Straw by Metallica. I give it a 10.
Awesome. All right, 2 10s. Yes, they're natural. All right, Pantera, Mouth for War from their Vulgar Display of Power album, 1992. The band is formed in Arlington, Texas in 1981, but go ahead and not listen to their first couple albums. Trust me. Notes. Every time I hear that fucking opening, I am forced to descend into the 7th circle of hell and punch Mitch the leprous cock demon right in his balls, such as its power. The instant Phil says revenge, you know that you're going to have your heavy metal nipples twisted in an unrelenting mosh pit of metal goodness.
Nice.
I love the near constant guitar slides in the verse guitar part of it. It's fucking awesome. The whole song sounds like you're going over a hilly road of dead hookers and bro fights. Just when you think the song could not get any more awesome, Dime comes in with a blistering solo straight from the tit of the solo god. At about 3:06, the song picks up tempo significantly. Phil Anselmo stated in a 1992 interview on Much More Music that Mouth for War is about channeling your hate into something productive. I'll be goddamned if that doesn't seem like that could happen today.
Yeah.
This is evident in the lyrics when I channel my hate to productive. So yeah.
I don't find it hard to impress. Yep.
Yeah, I don't find it hard to impress. Seems like you might even have a theme there. Anyway, Mouth for War by Pantera. I give it 10, Drew.
There we go. On a roll now. All right, yeah, this was released in 1992, so we kind of got a bit of a theme going here with
Yeah.
the years of when these
Early
songs
90s
came out.
stuff,
Early
yeah.
90s stuff, yeah,
Early
good
90s,
year
late
for metal.
80s.
And people jumble all the 90s into grunge, but early 90s grunge hadn't hit yet, man. We had some good metal coming out. Um, brutal as fuck opening.
Mhm.
It just rips your face off and spits right down your throat.
Totally.
That main guitar riff, the one you were talking about with all the slides, doo 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 doo.
I was right there for a second.
Yeah. That riff makes me moist.
Ooh.
Yeah. I said it.
Nice.
I said it. Pantera equals attitude. Just every time I hear Pantera, that's the first word that comes to mind is attitude. That climb up during the pre-chorus adds a lot of tension before releasing into the actual chorus itself. And then the guitar solo, holy fuck. What
Yeah.
else can you say? Just go listen to it. Dime was amazing.
Yep.
At 3:08, the riff that kicks in. At 3:08, the riff kicks in, and the pit just absolutely breaks loose
Yep. Totally.
from there on in. When the song finally does end, you want more. And thankfully, with that album, you get plenty more because this is only the first
Definitely
song. Great song, great album. I love it. Fucking 10.
10. All right. Let's go on to, I think this is where I started my picks, right?
Yep.
All right. Sepultura. Refuse, Resist off their Chaos AD album. They were formed, what? 1993?
There you go.
Yeah, look at that. Formed in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais, Brazil in 1984.
Sure.
There's a weird sound at the beginning of the song that almost sounds like a helicopter, but it is not. And I'm forced to wonder how many arenas were fucked up over the course of the years shortly after that sound played.
You know what that sound is?
What is it?
It's the heartbeat of a baby in the womb.
Really?
Yep.
Holy shit! Learn something new every day.
That's an ultrasound heartbeat.
All right. Instantly, you can hear Sepultura's signature tribal drumming sounds that they blend flawlessly with their punk/metal guitar. And let's be honest, if you can't hear the punk influence in Sepultura, you need to listen harder because it's definitely there. The lyrics are like Satan ejaculated hot demon lava onto Mephistopheles' face, and they recorded the resultant scream. The song has two speeds, fucking breakneck, and then they slow it down to a tornado during the vocals, so you can scream at your neighbors in their fucking star shower that they won't turn off at night. That might have gotten a little too specific there. I don't know.
Probably so.
Out of boredom for playing the Arise songs for 2 years straight and concerned about the threat of musically stagnating, Sepultura pushed the envelope on Chaos ID. The first track, Refuse Resist, revealed the band's new musical direction, slower with more emphasis on groove than speed. I give Refuse Resist a 9.5 direct.
Absolutely love this song and this album. The opening is fucking brilliant. The
Yep.
absolutely love it. I get chills every time I hear it because it's
right there again.
Fucking brilliant. When the guitars kick in, these guys aren't messing around. It's da 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 da. Love it. Ugh, I'm getting all nipply now. Drumming is amazing, of course, and again, just like the Pantera song, this one's full of attitude. The change up at 1:45 catches you off guard, but it transitions smooth and leads into the guitar solo. It's a perfect length for a kick-ass song. I don't have any other notes because it's fucking awesome. You just need to go out and fucking listen to it right fucking now. It's a fucking 10.
10, damn. You were
yeah,
God damn.
Yeah.
All right, now our next is my Metallica choice. Metallica's Master of Puppets, the title track off the 1986 release of the most brilliant album of all time. Metallica born in Los Angeles, California, 1981. Anyone who is ever serious about being a heavy metal guitarist has tried to master that opening riff at some point in their fucking life, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
Yep.
It is weird listening to this right after Shortest Straw and realizing that the bass guitar went backwards. The lyrics are perfect, the drumming is perfect, the bass is perfect, the guitars are perfect, the subject matter is dark and gritty. The part where his voice is warped is probably one of the most iconic things ever in all of heavy metal live shows, where he goes, and it leads into my favorite guitar part ever. That part right after that, where that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They spend about 30 seconds building up into that fucking pile driver of a change up with the master part. The solo at 5:44 seems like a fucking descent into madness, but a controlled descent into awesome madness. Right after they do that ascending guitar part, which is where they go. I love that. It's fucking awesome. Wait a minute. The ascending descending thing, which is fucking tits and beer, right before they going right back into the verse. I even love the laughing at the end of the song. The song, as lead singer James Hetfield explains, deals pretty much with drugs, how things get switched around instead of you controlling what you're taking and doing. It's the drugs controlling you. The song was bassist Cliff Burton's second favorite song on the album, as quoted when the album was released. Although initially not commercially successful, why? The song is one of the band's most famous and popular songs. And it's frequently played at concerts. I give Master of Puppets a 10 because why not? Dreadwood.
Yeah. This is Metallica at their absolute finest.
Totally.
First 30 seconds lets you know exactly what you're going to be in store for, because it just, starts right away. Then at 50 seconds, they change it up and unleash a masterclass in guitar riffage.
Mm-hmm.
That's that riff that you're talking about. Everybody wants to learn how to play. The lyrics are perfect. Music is perfect. Seriously, I wrote this.
Yeah.
Guitars are perfect. Everything is perfect.
Symbiotic right there.
At 3 minutes and 40 seconds, the song takes a slow melodic turn.
Yep.
That shows the maturity of the band's songwriting, which is something you didn't really see much of in other thrash bands from the same period. After this album came out, you started to see a lot of thrash bands start to incorporate stuff like that into their songs, where they mix in more melodic pieces and interlude stuff here or there. But prior to this was what, 1986?
Yep, 66. Yep.
Yeah, prior to 1986, find me a thrash.
Million Mile an Hour. Yep.
Find me a thrash song that does this. Yeah. That's not Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd I go? Oh yeah, it builds back up into a marching beat before Kurt absolutely kills the solo again on this one. Again, it's a near perfect song from a near perfect album. I gave it a 10.0.
10.0. All right, moving on to Black Sabbath, Children of the Grave. The band was formed in Aston, United Kingdom in 1968. This is from their Master of Reality, their third album in 1971. I always include Embryo on Children of the Grave because to me, they're inseparable, right? Embryo leads into Children of the Grave. It always does, right?
Right.
I love how the comment section on YouTube devolved into an argument about who started heavy metal, as you do on YouTube.
Of course.
This song is so goddamn thick. It's really thick is the word I would describe. I'm not sure how they're getting that drum sound. It almost sounds like they're playing on a steel tub that has been muted. The song features a fuckload of tempo changes and reminds me lyrically of Mandatory Suicide by Slayer, where basically they're saying, hey, you're basically marched off the war, whether you like it or not. Children of the Grave. Wait a minute. I also love the tone on the main guitar that almost makes it sound like the song is coming from a hose. They have this weird tone on the guitar. It's awesome. Children of the Grave is a song by Black Sabbath on the 1971 album Master of Reality. The song lyrically continues the same anti-war themes brought on by War Pigs and Electric Funeral from Paranoid, adding in Geezer Butler's pacifist ideals of nonviolent civil disobedience. I mean, look at a picture of Geezer Butler back then. Consummate hippie.
Yeah.
Two previously unreleased versions of the song were released in the deluxe edition of Master Reality. First is a version with alternate lyrics. The second is an instrumental version. Black Sabbath, Children of the Grave. I give a 10. Dreadwood.
Yeah, you kind of have to include Embryo on it because I think it was meant to be included with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know one thing that Sabbath did back then was they would record songs and then they'd send it to the record company, and the record company would be like, you only got 6 songs on here. We need to make it a little bit longer.
Yeah, where are the stops?
So they would kind of cut a section off and say, okay, well, this kind of sounds like a little separate thing. So they would cut off the Embryo part and just make that an extra song, so that you'd have actually 8 song listings instead of just 4 or 6. Yeah, the opening bass riff leads into one of the heaviest guitar riffs of all time.
Yep. Love that.
Bill Ward absolutely kills it on drums. They slow down with the tempo change at 250, and they get full on doom metal in that section. It's just, I love the song. I don't have very many notes on the song itself because it just kicks ass. It's a classic Black Sabbath song. Over 40 years later, it's still one of the absolutely heaviest guitar riffs known to man.
Totally.
Which is amazing. This came out in 1971.
Yep, 71.
Yeah, this album, and you could really kind of take, because again, back then they only had like maybe 8 songs per album. So, and a couple of those were short instrumental pieces like Embryo, right?
Right, yep.
So really only like 6 songs. So you could take like Paranoid and Master Reality, which were actually both recorded and released in the same year, and kind of just smash those two together as one album, you know? And you'd get like a 12-song album. There you go.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Those 2 albums to me they're the foundation for heavy metal.
I mean, totally with you on that. Yep.
You know, describe, like, if you imagine heavy metal as like being a house, right? Yep. You got this big giant house, and each room is like a different genre or a subgenre of heavy metal. You know, and some rooms lead into another rooms where the genres kind of cross over a little bit and stuff like that. Then you have the frames of the house that were built on, like, during the 80s. It's like your big 4, right? Like Metallica and Megadeth and Anthrax and Slayer built the frames of the house and helped to get the house up. But the foundation that was laid down, that everything sits on, is fucking Black Sabbath. And in particular, these 2 albums.
Totally.
I give it a fucking 10. So.
Nice. All right. My Megadeth choice was a song called Tornado of Souls, from the Rust in Peace album, which is probably my second favorite album of all time. Megadeth formed in Los Angeles, California, 1983. Rust in Peace released in 1990. When I always hear that opening riff, I always think of people on the plains of Kansas looking into a dark sky and realizing, oh, fuck, a tornado is coming.
All right.
I hope there's not a fucking witch on a bicycle. All right. Song is Dave Mustaine telling the world that gingers can be metal as fuck too. That solo in this song will impregnate every female in a 100-mile radius if you have the volume up high enough.
Right.
Rust in Peace features songs, multiple sections, shifting time signatures, and intricate guitar performances, and is sometimes described as having a progressive style. I don't know about that. In this regard, the album is compared with Metallica's 1988 album, Justice for All. I think Rust in Peace is a little better than Justice.
Yeah.
Also noted for its technical complexity. Additionally, the album features multiple lyrical themes, religion, politics, and warfare, as well as Mustaine's personal issues, such as the fight against drug and alcohol addiction, UFO conspiracy theories, and even the Marvel Comics character Punisher. How topical is that? Megadeth Tornado of Souls, I give it 10, Dreadwood.
Yeah, another classic song off of an amazing album, near perfect album also. The riff at just 12 seconds in, he kicks into that riff, is like, whoa, you know. Now, let's be honest, Dave's voice on this song in particular is definitely an acquired taste. Yep. He's a little more nasally Dave on this song than he is in some of the other songs off this album. Probably not the song I would choose to introduce someone to Megadeth if they've never heard Megadeth before, because, you know, I can see how if this is the first time you've ever heard Megadeth, you might be like, oh God, who's singing, you know? Right. But if you've already heard them and you're kind of used to Dave's voice, then it won't hit you so hard. So I would probably use like Holy Wars to introduce them, and then kind of how the album goes. Start them off with Holy Wars, slide into Hangar 18, you know, and then, you know, eventually work up to Tornado of Souls. Amazing guitar playing. The transitions, the solos are just spectacular.
That's why I picked those for the solos.
Yeah, the bass, the drums are great. The guitar solo is insane on this one. I give it a 10 also. All
right. And finally, our last song ever that we're ever going to review, Slayer. We reviewed this one before, I think. Slayer, Raining Blood, which is from their album Rain in Blood, 1986. Slayer, of course, formed in Huntington Park, California, 1981. And I'm always reminded of Freddy Krueger's weird-ass boiler room at the beginning of the song. And then the guitars kick in, and Freddy is forced to concede that Slayer is much more adept at fucking up people's dreams than he is. Pretty much my only comments about this song is that it's fucking perfect Slayer. Listen to it, you pussy. Raining Blood was written by Jeff Hanneman and Kerry King. DX Ferris said that when Hanneman wrote the song, he envisioned a scene from a dark street or bloody back alley, and later went on to say that the song described a bandit's soul awakened and hungry for vengeance. The second verse was written by King, who picked up on Hanneman's title in his new direction. The song, along with the rest of Rain and Blood, was recorded in 1986 in LA, California by the infamous producer Rick Rubin. Slayer Rain and Blood, I give a 10 Dreadwing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we did do this one before. Let's kind of hoping for like South of Heaven or something, man. Okay. Eerie opening. It's got a very eerie opening to it. Not like ear, like, you know, the side of your head ear, but eerie opening.
Got you, EE instead of EA.
Right. Leads into a jamming guitar riff that conjures an image of a horde of demons galloping towards you on death steeds.
Ooh, I like it.
I like that. About a minute and 10 in, they abandon any semblance of order and erupt into total chaos.
Totally chaos. Yep.
Total chaos. The breakdown at 2:15 brings the two fighting war champions together on the battlefield, slowly circling each other as their legions cheer them on. Then the battle begins, and all hell literally breaks loose, and utter chaos and pandemonium follows.
Like that.
Pretty much sums up the song. That's totally the image I got out of it. I give it a 9.5.
9.5. It's like a fucking 14 for Slayer. Right?
I know, right?
All right, so hey, that does it for all of our musical reviews ever. And we're going to do a little bit now. We're going to pick our top 10 must-have heavy metal albums. And mine are in no particular order, mind you.
I have a feeling we're gonna have a few crossovers. That
I'm going to almost guarantee we're going to have a couple double.
Yeah. So here's the thing, folks. If you're listening to the show and you know nothing about heavy metal, I doubt it. But if you are and you're looking for albums to buy, say, hey, I need some good heavy metal albums to buy. What should I buy? If there's an album that's on both of our lists, you should definitely go buy it right fucking now.
Yeah, chances are it's probably pretty good, right? All right, my very first one is Metallica, Master of Puppets. Just an amazing album from beginning to end. Dreadwing.
Absolutely. I was going to go backwards and say that one for last, but I'll go ahead and do it too. Metallica, Master of Puppets. I tried to kind of break down, and I didn't want to repeat the band, so I kind of picked like one of what I figured would be the best one from each band.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
for me, Metallica, Master of Puppets, it's like
all right. Here we go. Megadeth, Rust in Peace.
Megadeth, Rust in Peace.
All right. So these might like have a lot of crossover. Yeah. Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power.
Okay. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality.
Ooh,
now I could easily interject, like I talked earlier, how you could take Paranoid and Master of Reality and kind of make them one album. You know, you could kind of flip a coin on either one of those two. But I went with Master of Reality.
My next one is Black Sabbath, Paranoid.
Well, my next one's Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power.
That's so great. Here's one I guarantee you won't be on Dreadwing's list. 6 Feet Under, Maximum Violence.
Yeah, no, not on this one. Typo Negative, Bloody Kisses.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Danzig.
White Zombie, Las Sexorcisto, Devil Music, Volume 1.
All right. My next one is White Zombie, Las Exorcisto, Devil Music, Volume 1.
Yeah, my next one's Danzig album.
All right.
I'm not lying. These are actually, I could take a picture of my list. We're not lying
here. My next one is Sepultura, Chaos AD.
Oh my God. All right. My next one's Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears. And again, not taking anything away from Blizzard of Oz, which is another great album. Definitely go get that one. But for me, it's No More Tears.
All right. My next one is, this probably won't be able to make Slayer, his list either, but it's Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss.
Yeah. My next one's Sepultura, Chaos AD.
And finally, my last one is Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind.
That's a good one. You know, I don't have Iron Maiden or Judas Priest on here. I wanted to put them, but I couldn't pick one album from either of them. So, like, if you're listening to this and you're looking for, they didn't put the, well, we only had 10 spots, first of all. So, you know, we could have easily gone like 50 deep on this one.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, just go and like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, get a best of album. go from there.
Yeah, right on. What is it called? Edward the Great is a really good one.
Yeah, I have that one. Yep. So for my last one, I threw in a little bit of a dark horse because this is a band that I absolutely love. They're a local band for me, and I wanted to get them on the show and do a review, but unfortunately, Rotten fucking Records is a fucking dick, and they pull any video off of YouTube that anyone ever puts up with this band in it. So there's only one video that they have. It's their official video that Rotten Records have on YouTube, and while it's a good song, it's not what I would use to introduce the band. So the band is Acid Bath, and the album is When the Kite String Pops. Absolutely great album. Go check it out. Don't let
nice southern metal.
Don't let the one video on YouTube determine, because again, it's a short version too. So like they chop part of it off. Like that's not the song I would use to introduce the band with. Just go get the album, put it CD in, hit play, and then trust me.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, I think like half of ours were overlaps at least, right?
I think more than half. Yeah,
right.
Like 8 of them.
right. So okay, so hey, I just want to say hey, thanks everybody for listening to Hangar 18. Those of you that did, I named some people earlier that listened to like at some point or another.
Yes, thank you so much.
And yeah, that about wraps it up. And fucking stay metal, Dreadwind.
Stay metal. We will catch y'all sometime later.
All right, later.